Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Birmingham City Council's regularly scheduled meeting for January 28, 2020. I want to say good morning. We're going to have our invocation. Reverend Dr. Beatty, is he here this morning? I know we have a lot of people here joining us this morning, so he might be out in the hallway. But if in the substitute of that, Councilor Hoyt from District 8 will do our invocation and be followed by Pledge of Allegiance by Councilor Parker. So if everyone could please stand.
Let us bow our heads. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you this day, a day in which we've never seen before and we should never see again. We thank you for those that you have assembled here to lead us in terms of our city, our mayor, Mayor Woodfin, and the entire council, and our president, President Parker, President Pro Tem, Wardine Alexander. Lord, we ask that you continue to guide them and give them wisdom, and all of us as we have the duties of dispensing our responsibilities to empower your people. God, we thank you for the young people that we witnessed this morning as we celebrate them and their accomplishments, athletics and academics. And so, God, we thank you for institutions like Miles College that continue to make a difference in academia. And so, God, we thank you for the city workers. We thank you for the department heads as they dispense their duties with respect to making this a wonderful place to live, work, and play. God, we ask that you bless all those who were succumbed in the accident with Kobe Bryant and his family, and all 9 of those individuals. Lord, we thank you for your saving grace in the issue with our police officer. God, we thank you that you saved him, God, and we ask that you heal his body, his mind, and his soul. Father God, we thank you for just being God and looking after us, even when we don't look after ourselves, but you're that kind of God. And so we give praises and we give glory and we give honor this morning as you have purposed us to be here on a day like this, a day of rejoicing, a day of celebration. And God, we ask that you continue to guide us and direct us in all that we do. And God, we be quick to give you the praise, the glory, and the honor. It is in Jesus' matchless name I pray. Let us all say, amen.
Good morning, Mr. Clerk. How are you?
Morning, great, sir.
Good. Can we do roll call?
Council Member Pro Tem Alexander.
Good morning here.
Good. Council Member Hilliard. Council Member Hoyt. Council Member Hoyt. Here. Council Member O'Quinn. Good morning. Council Member Smitherman. Good morning. Council Member Williams.
Good morning.
Good morning. Council Member Woods. Council Member Abbott. President Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. At this time, can I get an approval for the minutes from the previous meeting of September 10th, September 17th?
So moved.
That was moved by Councilor Williams and seconded by Councilor Smitherman.
All right.
Are we
Voting
ready
should
for
be
the
open.
vote? Thank you.
And I'll take it everybody's down. So how would you like to vote, Councilor Alexander?
Yes.
Councilor Hoyt?
Yes.
For the minutes, Councilor O'Quinn?
Yes.
Council Williams? Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott?
Yes.
President Parker?
Yes.
All right, that vote should be up for the minutes.
That item passes. The minutes are not ready for September 24th through January 21st, 2020. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Morning, Mr. President. Good morning to the council, and good morning to the public. Mr. President and council, I'll be briefing my notes with one exception. I want to start today's council meeting by asking each of you all and all of us to continue to keep Detective Police Officer John Finke in our prayers as he continues to recover after being shot on Sunday morning. Next Monday the 3rd, I ask that the council and the public join me at Bill Harris Arena at 10 a.m., which is when the city's new fire chief, Corey Moon, and his new administration will take the oath of office. During that time, we will also recognize Interim Fire Chief John Whitmer, as well as 2 other fire officials who are retiring, and thanking them for their service. Last March 2019, my administration presented the Strong Her, all caps of HER campaign, which recognizes unsung heroes in our city and Birmingham community. And we're doing it again this year, and so council and to the public, if you know someone we should consider, please visit birminghamal.gov/strongher for more information about the program and how to nominate someone. The deadline for submission is January 31st. Madam Pro Tem, I want to publicly announce the city's next town hall meeting will be with you. And it'll be held Tuesday, February 11th at Winona High School. Residents are encouraged to come early to meet community partners at 5:30, and we will begin at 6 p.m. For more dates of future town hall meetings, please visit birminghamal.gov/townhalls. At this time, could Sue Johnson, the CEO of Birmingham Big Brothers and Big Sisters, as well as DYS and UAB team members, please approach as we acknowledge the work they're doing, and as we acknowledge and declare January as National Mentoring Month. This morning we have a proclamation we want to present, and we want Ms. Johnson, no worries, take your time. We want Ms. Johnson to give some brief words. Mr. President and Council, I'll read this proclamation in part due to our numerous presentations this morning to keep your meeting flowing. And it states, whereas the residents of Birmingham, Alabama recognize that the city's success depends on helping every child succeed in school, reach their full potential in life, and realize that young people need a solid foundation of support that will help them become well-educated, confident, and productive citizens. And whereas research shows that mentoring has beneficial and long-term effects on youth by increasing their academic engagement and decreasing the likelihood of substance abuse and other risky behavior. Mentoring strengthens Birmingham's economic and social well-being by helping young people fulfill their potential while helping maintain healthy families and promote more. And whereas thousands of Birmingham children are in need of a caring adult mentor, and so many adults are ready to serve. And when they serve, they are filling this mentoring gap with a strong investment of partnerships and volunteers ready to make a difference in a child's life. And whereas National Mentoring Month is an opportunity to raise public awareness of the importance of mentoring, recognize the dedicated individuals who serve as mentors, and encourage more citizens to help build a brighter future of Birmingham's youth through mentoring. Now, therefore, I, Randall Woodfin, Mayor of the City of Birmingham, along with the City Council, commend Ms. Pugh and Big Brothers and Big Sisters for their efforts, and do hereby proclaim the month of January 2020 National Mentoring Month and in Birmingham, and encourage all of our residents to recognize and become more aware of the importance of mentoring. Thank you.
Mayor, we've rebranded Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we have an official T-shirt for you to wear. This is our new logo. Don't y'all like to see it? Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for your support of mentoring. I know you believe in it, and I know you believe that the outcome is what's standing behind us. We've got some tremendous young people that are mentored by one of your departments, the Department of Youth Services. Every single staff person in the Department of Youth Services is a big brother or big sister. And they've been doing that for 2 years now. Gavin, where's Gavin? Oh, okay. Well, he's representing. I just want to thank this partnership. It's strong and solid, and we appreciate the city's support in providing volunteers. I have today with me members of our board of directors. This is Chip Bivens from UAB, Kimberly Jackson from Alabama Power, and we have Michael Clark from Second Row Law right over here. I also have my staff, if you'd raise your hands, staff. They're back and back. We have our littles from DYS. If y'all would raise your hands and be recognized. These are future stars of Birmingham, and we couldn't be prouder. And then our mentors from DYS, would you raise your hands? Thank y'all for giving your time. Our mission is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. Last year, we served over 600 children in the Birmingham City Schools alone, and we served over 1,400 children in one-to-one mentoring relationships in the Jefferson County area. 11 of those matches are matched with the Birmingham City police officers. We have a newly formed partnership with Chief Smith, and immediately 11 of his officers have stepped up to be mentors. That program is strong, and I'm excited to report that to you now. With additional funding, our potential is to serve all of Birmingham City Schools. We thank you, Mayor Woodfin, for your support of mentoring in Birmingham, and to the City Council. Thank you, and thank you for this proclamation. Thank you.
Mr. President, I have one last thing at this time. Could Chairman of Public Safety, Hunter Williams, please step down? The mayor's office is, and I am personally proud to stand with the council, not only Councilor Hunter Williams in his capacity as chair of the Public Safety Committee, but each of you individually, who whenever an officer gets shot and I receive a call, I immediately reach out to Mr. Williams in his capacity as chairman, but also engaging you, each of you all over the last 2 days, whether it's been a text, a phone call, or in person. I've inquired about Detective Finke, and we're proud to have the 10 of us as elected officials leading the city stand shoulder to shoulder with our men and women in blue and our officers. And so at this time, there's a proclamation from both the mayor's office and the city council, but I thought it would be appropriate for me to turn the mic over to the chairman of public safety to just acknowledge Detective Finke at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not going to read our proclamation word for word, but I just want to say how important it is that the 10 of us stand together behind all of our first responders, especially the men and women of Birmingham Police Department. We've tasked them with sometimes the almost impossible job of keeping our citizens and our city safe. They do so every day at their expense and their family's expense. They don't know if they will return home. As we all know, this past year and a half, we have had 4 officers shot. Obviously, one of them, Sergeant Carter, lost his life protecting the citizens of Birmingham. So I think it's very important that we stand united behind all of the men and women of Birmingham Police. I know a lot of departments in this country do not always have their city leadership stand behind them through good times and through bad times. But I think that we're going to be different than that, and we do appreciate the job that they do. And thank you, Mayor.
Counselor Williams, you ready? You finished? You want us to move the item, or you want to? Yeah. Okay.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Now
All
the item.
opposed,
Second.
all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Quick question. I thought that was a proclamation, it was a resolution. Which one is it?
One of each.
Yeah, resolution. Yeah.
Thank you.
On behalf of the mayor and the city council. And Council Hunter, Mr. Mayor, you'll make sure that the police chief and the detective gets the, okay, all right, thank you. All right, with that, I think we're gonna skip over if there are some questions for the mayor, if we could come back to that, because I wanted to kind of get the presentations for Miles College and also for the Green Acres Middle School. So if you want to, Councilor Hoyt, you're ready for your presentation?
Yes,
Okay.
and I'm going to ask the Green Acres kids if they come up first, and then we'll get Miles College.
Okay, however you want to
They
do it.
need
Yes,
to get
sir.
back to school.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's suspend the rules to hear from our presentations.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Councilor Smitherman, would you come and join me, please? And the school, please. Our wonderful athletes, our coaches. Yes. And Ms. Weeder, would you come and help us? Because what we want to do is to recognize Green Acres and Bush Hills Middle School, the STEAM Academy, and these are 7th and 8th graders, and they are a combined team, which means that unlike some other places, in some places in Birmingham, we can combine our efforts to become an even stronger community, and certainly our football team provides that example for us. And so we just wanted to recognize you, Coach, for the wonderful job that you're doing. And is the principal with you? Yes. Okay, where is she? Where's the principal? Okay. And, okay, Dr. Oliver? No, what'd you say? Oh, Mr. Oliver, okay. And so I wanted to come bring you all here to say thank you for instilling and imparting our young people what it takes to be a productive citizen of the world, because you all do that every day. It's not just football, but it's what you give them every day as a part of making them better persons. And so we know that through teamwork, things can happen. You work together and you become as one. No single person can win a game. It is a team effort. Somebody has to block, somebody has to run, somebody has to throw the ball, somebody has to carry the ball. So we're working together. So I wanted to bring you here, and you can introduce your team. And we have medals for our young people. It is the highest honor that we can bestow on you as a citizen of Birmingham. So we'll be doing that. And Coach, would you come and talk to us about your championship?
All right, good morning again.
Morning.
We definitely want to say thank you for you all having us. Winning the championship was it was nothing short of an amazing effort. All right, and the reason why I say, and the rest of the coaches say that, and the principals as well, our kids face hurdles every day, right? And so they win championships every day, a lot of times by showing up and giving the best effort that they need to give in school first and in football second. We definitely we appreciate the kids. We appreciate all of the support from our administrators and from Councilman Hoyt. And thank you all for having us again.
Absolutely. Madam Principal, you want to speak to us? These are your folk and the other coaches.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Samuels, and I proudly serve as principal of Bush Hill STEAM Academy. Just like Councilman Hoyt and Mr. Simmons, we call him Mr. Simmons, not Coach Simmons, because he is a teacher first. Like he said, we want to make sure that we have well-rounded students. We have students that are student athletes, and so we make sure that in addition to all the things they need to do in order to get prepared for games, that we complete homework, that students are fed, and they have everything that they need. But the one thing I want to point out that's most important to me is the partnership that we created with another school. That is no easy feat, as he said, and we work this year seamlessly, pretty much. Bus kids over to our campus every afternoon, and I personally want to thank my partner, my colleague, Mr. Oliver, for the work that he put in order to make that happen, in addition to the coaches, all of our support in the form of my instructional superintendent, in the form of board member Smith, in the form of our neighborhood association, and everybody that worked together to make this effort possible. We just want to thank everybody, and look what we've done at the end. We have a city championship to celebrate the first year of the Bush Hill STEAM Academy. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Oliver, and I proudly serve as the principal of Green Acres Middle School. I won't belabor the points that have been made excellent by Councilman Hoyt, Mr. Simmons, and Ms. Samuels, but we're really excited at Green Acres to be able to partner with Bush Hill STEAM Academy to bring something special to our community. And so we look forward to the years to come, looking forward to these young men staying together, and look forward to the great things that are going to happen for the entire Western Birmingham.
And lastly, we also want to thank Jackson Olin High School, who supported us with this effort in many ways, whether that be space, whether that be the use of equipment and that sort of thing. We want to thank them because they understand that these are their babies, and these students will be coming to them next year and the years to come. So they have wrapped their arms around us and supported us through this effort. So thank you to them as well.
Good morning. I'll keep it brief. I'm Tim Vakakis, head football coach and athletic director at Jackson Olin. When Coach Davis and Coach Simmons brought me the idea this summer about combining forces, I got really excited. It just shows how much talent we have in our community, and there's power in numbers, and there's power in our kids because they're our future. So we put them together. You got great leaders leading the kids, and great things happen. So thank y'all on behalf of Jackson Olin High School. This is our future, so we're going to invest into them, do all we can to help them. So thank y'all for this this morning.
Coach, let me say this because I did observe on Facebook when Nick Saban came in his helicopter to your campus and check out your football players, and I said, you must be a bad brother.
You wasn't coming to see me.
Okay, come to see the players, but
right.
But I saw that, and so we appreciate what you're doing and how you're imparting to our young people as well. We have with us Ms. Smith. Ms. Sonia Smith, our board representative, and I want her to come and say something because she represents the school board. These are her children. These are our children.
Good morning. I'm Sonia Smith, a school board representative for District 8, and it's wonderful to be here and to see this partnership and to know that Jackson Olin is spearheading the efforts with Green Acres and with Bush Hill STEAM Academy to form the first combined middle school team. So thank you to our athletic director for your forethought in making that happen, and congratulations to our students and all of your hard work, and both in and off the field, in making this possible. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have, go ahead, Coach. Coach, go ahead.
That's fine. And one last thing. All right, we had also, and this is brand new, we had two kids from Bush Hills to win state championships in their events in track on last Thursday. So we want to also recognize them while we're here. Damon Moore and Kendrick Jones.
Awesome. Miss Streeter is the president of the Bush Hills neighborhood, and she is proud of her school and her children, as we are. And then I'm going to have Dr. Tillman come up and say something.
Well, you made the correct statement. We're very proud of our students and our school. We're so happy for the support we have. We're happy for the leadership, and we're moving our kids forward. And it takes a village to raise a kid. So Bush Hill is the village, and we thank you.
Dr. Tillman, and I always like to tell this was my teacher, y'all. And, I was 18 years old. She was about 23. Over there teaching at Miles, and I was saying, Lord, all the teachers look like this. So, but I got my lesson. I did get an A out of her class, Council Parker, but she's a wonderful educator.
Calling me out.
But listen, she's a wonderful.
I can take it from here,
She's a
Councilor
wonderful
Hoyt.
educator, and she is committed because when she was with the state Board of Education, she made a choice to come back to be principal of the school because that's where her love is, that's where her essence is, and so I just appreciate someone who made the kind of sacrifices that you made on behalf of all of our children, and it's no accident that you're one of the assistant superintendents of school because of your dedication to education. All right.
I must publicly say he was an amazing student also. So thank you for those kind words. The focus today is on our students and the work that they have done along with their parents and along with the community itself that have embraced the program. I appreciate all of your efforts and hard work that you bring to the table, along with Councilman Smitherman and others, and the entire council. We really, really appreciate you. On behalf of Birmingham Board of Education, as well as Dr. Lisa Herron, thank you, and continue to support our students in every area of Birmingham, and we appreciate what you are doing. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Councilor Hoyt. We're going to have to, I need Councilor Smitherman to
Okay,
speak.
yes,
sir.
please.
Okay, if that's okay. Oh, yeah, okay,
Miles
you
College, yeah, we
okay.
doing Miles
All right, I just want
College.
to make sure now.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
I have
yeah.
to make
We
sure.
together.
Yes, sir.
We
All right,
together.
Doctor.
I wouldn't make that mistake. But I just want to say to our young people who are here that when you get back to school, you're going to have pizza and something to drink. So I know y'all eat a lot of pizza. So we order a lot of pizza. So when y'all get back to your prospective schools, you're going to be fed. And so we wanted to do that. I want to thank Ms. Langford and thank Mr. Loza Brown in my office and Jordan Taylor. Thank you all for setting that up. And so you're going to have it going on. But let me thank you again for coming and allowing us to celebrate you all, because certainly you all are our future. And, the sky is the limit as to what you can do. Now, it's no accident that you got invited today, because we have one of the winningest coaches in the SIAC, and that's Coach Ruffin, and that's why he's here today. So I just wanted him to put his eyes on his future players. Coach, you can just take this championship team right here, and just they can just meander right on the miles. And Madam President Knight is here, and so hey, scholarships and all that good stuff. So Miles is a school to be reckoned with as we celebrate them this morning as well. But thank you all for coming this morning, and all of them to receive medals. Okay, so you can go back to school and wear them all day, if not all week. Okay, all right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, but if y'all can hold up just for 1 minute, let me present. Yes, Go in the hallway, and let me present Miles College, and then I'll be out there with you all. Well, I want to ask President Knight and Coach Ruffin and Coach Watson, the basketball coach, and I'm so glad to have Council Smitherman, because it was our conversation that we had that we thought we needed to celebrate Miles College, because we both have a history with Miles College. Both her parents have taught at Miles College. I don't know if they still teach or not, but they have taught there. And of course, she kind of grew up going to Miles College game. I know, because I used to see her there. And so we wanted to, Coach, you got anybody with you? All of them need to come. And so we wanted to say to Miles is a school to be reckoned with, not only from athletic standpoint, but from academic standpoint as well. And so I said to the president this morning, is there anything that she cannot do? When you get somebody like Charles Barkley give you $1 million, and then Winston to give you 50,000 in less than a month. I mean, I just think that's grounds for president in perpetuity. Okay, so I'm speaking it. I'm speaking it. I know you got your own mind, but I'm just speaking it because it's just wonderful to see where Miles is, where it's been, and where it's going under your leadership. And so I appreciate you being here. But we wanted to present this resolution to Coach Ruffin this morning because I realized that not only have the football team been successful, but even our basketball team are SIAC champions. And so, but it starts with leadership. It starts from the top, and then it trickles down. And so, Coach, if you would come up and let me read this resolution, and this is presented by Councilor Smitherman and myself. It says, whereas it is custom to this legislative body to commend those notable educators and coaches within our midst who have distinguished themselves through their exceptional performance, attaining unprecedented success and the highest level of exemplary athletics and personal achievement. Whereas, attending to such concern, in the full order with its long-standing tradition, the Council of the City of Birmingham is justly proud to congratulate Coach Reginald Ruffin, Director of Athletics and Head Football Coach at Miles College in Fairfield, who captured the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, reference to the preamble SIAC Championship. And whereas Coach Ruffin is recognized for taking Miles' football program to the pinnacle of the game. He has just completed one of the most successful decades in the history of Miles College and the SIAC Conference. In 9 seasons at the helm of the Golden Bears, Coach Ruffin has led the program to four SIAC championships, as well as an additional SIAC championship game appearance. The team has also made 2 NCAA postseason appearances. Coach Ruffin has won more than 60% of his games, 59-39 overall, and has been named SIAC Coach of the Year 3 times, notwithstanding about a couple of weeks ago. That includes a couple of weeks ago, he was again named Coach of the Year. And whereas last season, Miles College became the first team to win consecutive SIAC titles since the league went into the divisional format in 2011. The Golden Bears went to 9-3 overall and 5-1 in the SIAC Western Division and won the league's championship wire to wire, 21-6 over Albany State. I know because I was there. As a matter of fact, I've been there for every championship that's been won. I've been following them just like the rest of the alumni, driving around. And last time that I followed them, I was up in North Carolina in the cold, me and Miss Hoyt, in the rain with an umbrella. And so, but we were so proud to be there. And the 9 wins ties the school's record for the victories in a single season, and to the team netted its second ever trip to the NCAA Division II playoffs. And whereas Coach Ruffin, this is the most important part, has continued to bargain his reputation as a winner at Miles, he demonstrates strong dedication to supporting and develop college athletes while placing a high value on academics. His positive demeanor, selfless commitment, caring concern have contributed to his enduring success as a coach and mentor, earning him the just respect and admiration of the Miles College community and the athletes that he so ably coached. He merits the recognition and applause for his impressive dedication to others. And I'm going to ask Councilor Smitherman if you read now.
Thank you, Councilman Hoyt. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Birmingham, with Mayor Randall L. Woodfin concurring, hereby congratulate Coach Reginald Ruffin on his outstanding tenure and his significant contributions to education and athletics at Miles College. Presented this 28th day of January 2020 at the recommendation of Councilors Stephen W. Hoyt and Crystal Smithman.
Thank you, Councilor Hoyt. Did you need to move the item before we were going to have Dr. Knight, I'm sure, come up and speak, and the coach? Did you want them to speak?
I move the item.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Now adoption of the resolution.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't come prepared to say anything. I really would rather you hear from Coach Ruffin, but I will tell you that it's an honor and a privilege to serve Miles College and these wonderful, committed faculty, staff, coaches, and the students. I think our basketball team, some of our players are here today. They're all champions, and it's my honor and privilege to serve them. Coach Ruffin.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Such an honor and a blessing to be here. As you know, I'm only as good as the people that's around me. My assistant coaches, of course, the basketball head coach, Fred Watson, his staff, also my assistant coaches for football, and the student athletes, as we continue to reach, inspire, and impact. The thing that we always preach about our student athletes, that we're here to educate, we're here to dominate, and we're here to graduate. So at Miles College, you know, we have kept that mantra. We have done the things that it takes for us to be successful. And, you know, I appreciate all the accolade, but I didn't do it by myself. You know, we have a great leader in Dr. Knight. When she came on board, one of the things that she said, I had to win her first championship, and we did that. Not only did we win our first championship, but Dr. Knight also has the opportunity to be the first college president in the state of Alabama in 2019 to win a conference championship, NCAA playoff berth, in all of the schools here in the state of Alabama. That's the University of Alabama, that's Auburn, that's Samford, that's UAB, that's all the schools in the state. Miles College was the only school in the state that's scholarship given to win a conference championship in the NCAA playoffs berth. So that's big for my president, big for our institution. And also having a distinguished opportunity to win the Commissioner's Cup for best overall athletic program, but more importantly, winning the Commissioner's Cup for the best academic program in all of the SIAC. No shade intended to the mayor of this city, a Morehouse grad, but Miles College was the overall top academic school in the SIAC. So thank you guys so much for all your work, and as we continue this journey to be champions, and that means having character, means having heart, attitude, the mentality and perseverance, and the stamina to continue the greatness. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I want to introduce my basketball coach at this time, because we were the only school in the last decade to win the football championship and also basketball championship the same season. So, and he was actually my first hire when I became athletic director. So I think I did a good job.
Thank you.
At this time, Coach Watson, basketball.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. On behalf of President Knight, Reginald Ruffin, we bring you greetings from Miles College. I have along with me 6 members of the 2019 Men's Championship team. We would just like to thank you guys for taking the time to honor us today and recognize us. And I personally would like to also recognize those guys for the 3.2 GPA that team carried, and currently we have a 3.4 at the end of the semester. So that's a great accomplishment for us as well, and we'd like to thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, we do have a councilor member that would like to speak, and I would just like to say that we are excited to have you here today. You continue a long tradition of millennials who make a difference in the city of Birmingham and throughout the nation. I consider myself to be a legacy. My father was a scholar athlete there at Miles College, actually played sports at Miles, so I'm excited to see you all here today. I love the motto, what was it? Educate, dominate, graduate. I think that's excellent. And Councilor Woods, and I don't know if others would like to speak, but Councilor Woods.
Yeah, just briefly wanted to congratulate you guys. Like I said, I'm a former college athlete, played football, and so it's not an easy thing to win a championship, and so that's something you guys can remember forever and ever. And I happen to recognize one of the gentlemen there, Coach Kenry Tauber. He's one of the bright young football minds here, and it's good to see that he's here locally. And so continued success, and like I said, we want to see you keep winning, so 3 in a row.
Again. Thank you. Yes, Councilor.
I just want everybody to know the importance of recognizing our black young men, because as a former HBCU collegiate athlete, I know it's not easy, and also the importance of HBCUs as we go into February. They gave black people an opportunity to go to school when we weren't allowed to go into certain spaces, and I think it's great that HBCUs produce all of these great professionals and leaders, so I'm expecting great things out of both teams. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know it goes without saying, we thank you, Dr. Knight, for everything you're doing at Miles and the support that you're bringing in financially to Miles. So thank you very much. Thank you. All right, thank you all.
And thank you, Council.
At this time, we do have 2 additional presentations. I would like to call forward Mr. Ron Elder, the CEO of Elder Sports. And he has other guests with him as they give them a chance to come up. Thank you. Mr. Elder and guests are here. As you all can see, they are members of the Dragon Nation. And I'm just going to turn it over to Mr. Elder. He is just a fine example of Birmingham natives doing well, bringing it back, and bringing it home. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Elder, who is also a Winona grad and UAB grad. So, Mr. Elder.
How is everyone doing today?
Good morning.
We're not going to be before you long. I'm excited to be here to celebrate the opportunity when we introduced Elder Sports to Birmingham during the summer at Railroad Park. And we talked about bringing a sports store, spirit store to Winona. And so now it's here. We're celebrating the grand opening on tomorrow. We welcome you guys to come out at 1:30. Thank you for our pro tem and all the support that you've allowed to help us do this. Also, we've implemented an entrepreneur education program. We partner with the co-op program, DECA, FBLA. And so here's some of the students that works with that program that have done really well. So it's up to us to really empower them for that next generation. Okay? Let's you guys.
Hi, my name is Anaya Mays. I am one of the supervisors for Elder Sports. Basically, what I learned from the opportunity was to do sales marketing. We basically get in people, introduce ourselves, greet them when they come in, basically like a retail store. So it's a lot for that. And also, like he said, I would like to see some of you all come to the grand opening we are having tomorrow at 1:30.
Thank you. And you were a student at Winona. What's your grade level?
I'm in 11th grade.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Chauncey Mack. I'm a senior at Winona High School, and I'm one of the supervisors of the Elder Sports store. I feel like this logo of Elder Sports gives students a sense of pride that they can wear something that was created right here in our schools, our Birmingham City school system, something other than Under Armour, Adidas, and Nike. I just feel like it's an honor to come out and present what we have going on at our school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. And your grade level, I'm sorry, did you say? Seniors, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Aaliyah Watson. I'm in 11th grade, and I'm also one of the supervisors at Elder Sports store. Here I have today are the first shoe that we came out called the Dragon Solo.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You know, the goal is for it not to stop here. this is just a model, and we're thankful for Dr. Goldsmith and the legacy he's established there in Lynn. We're part of that, and I'm excited about being a part of Destiny and Legacy. So thank you all for having us here. Go Dragon.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I do want to acknowledge Ms. Hackett is here, another Winona grad, and she's the parent and student resource. And again, that grand opening is tomorrow at 1:30 at the high school. And I would just like to thank you, Mr. Elder. This is a fine example of workforce development, paying back to the community, giving our students an opportunity to be a part of the entrepreneurial process, being able to work and also study. So we thank you again. We're very happy to have you here. Thank you. Next, we have one more speaker, and this is a presentation by Mrs. Abbott. So, Mrs. Abbott, I'll let you go ahead from Vulcan Park, I believe.
Could we have Darlene Negrato and her team here this morning to talk about exciting things going on at Vulcan?
Yes, thank you so very much for this opportunity. Good morning, everyone. 2020 marks the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, which allowed women the vote. In commemoration of the suffrage movement and to foster appreciation of its significance, Vulcan Park and Museum has joined other statewide and national institutions in providing insights into this important movement through our educational programming. With the input of subject matter experts, we've created a new exhibit in our changing exhibit gallery. It's called Right or Privilege, Alabama Women and the Vote, and we're passing out some brochures about that content. And that will be on display throughout the entire year. In addition to the national suffrage movement in the early part of the last century, our exhibit focuses on 19 women from Alabama and Birmingham who worked for the vote in the early days, like Patty Ruffner Jacobs, and also those whose efforts continued throughout the civil rights movement and even into modern times. You're invited to join us to explore this exhibit and this content, and also to join us for some of the programming. And here to tell you more about programming is Lashana Sorrell, our Director of Marketing and PR.
Good morning.
Morning.
So we'll start passing around some material that actually will have our year-long list of programs. We're really excited that our program offerings will be for all ages, from the young to the young at heart. If you turn to the back of the brochure, you will see that this exhibit has allowed us to enhance some of our existing partnerships while forging some new relationships. One key component of our exhibit is that we have an oral history portion, which was provided by the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute with the completion of their new oral history project. We're also extremely excited to be able to host this spring a play on the life of Patty Ruffner Jacobs at the Lyric, and this will be shown for students, high school and middle school age students up to 1,200. We will reach out to this spring from the Birmingham School District and the surrounding areas. This allows us a great opportunity to partner with the Lyric and expose our children and future leaders of the city to the arts. We have also partnered with the Girl Scouts of North Central Alabama, and I have them here today to be able to tell you about our exciting partnership this year.
Hey, I'm Jennifer Sholin. I'm the Chief Development and Communications Officer at Girl Scouts of North Central Alabama. Thank you so much for having us today. We have partnered with Vulcan, with the State Archives, with the National Committee for the Women's Suffrage Movement, with the Alabama State Bar Women's Lawyers Section, the Birmingham Bar Women's Lawyers Section, to offer a patch program for our Girl Scouts this year. The patch is being offered to them for free thanks to a grant from both the women's section of the Birmingham Bar and the Alabama State Bar. Girls will be learning about women's suffrage all year, and we are very excited about that. But I'm going to actually let a Girl Scout speak about it. So one of the great things that we're very proud of at Girl Scouts is we are a girl-led movement. Our girls plan the programs. They do exactly what they choose to do. And so Ayana is a girl liaison to our board of directors, and I'm going to let her speak.
Good morning. My name is Ayana Ray Chaudhary. I'm a junior at Homewood High School, and I'm currently working on my Gold Award. One of the big things that we learn in Girl Scouts from ages 8 and on is that whatever you do, it must have a permanent effect. It must be sustainable, and it must go beyond your efforts. And we also learned that commitment and civic engagement are important. When you apply to the suffrage movement, you can understand what it really took for these women to leave their understatement, to leave their comfort zones and work on something that the entire world was going against them for, and what that meant for women of color and black women going decades on. So it's really, really interesting to learn about it and very important to know where you come from. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're very excited about all of the programs that are being taken this year and giving us an opportunity again to support Alabama women and the right to vote. So thank you. Mrs. Abbott.
Well, I want to thank you for being here this morning. I'm glad to see the Girl Scouts. I was a Girl Scout, and I'm glad to see Vulcan taking the lead in some of these important issues. You know, it's not just the view from the top of the mountain. There's more to Vulcan, so we appreciate y'all being here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. At this time, Mr. Clerk will consider the consent agenda. Do we have to call the roll again since we suspended the items? Okay. If we could go ahead and call the consent agenda.
Okay. Madam Pro Tem, the consent agenda starts on page 2 with items 2, 3, and 4. Page 3, we have items 5, 6, and 7 on consent. Page 4, items 8 and 9 are on consent. Page 5, we have items 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 on consent. Page 6, we have items 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 on consent. On page 7, we have items 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 on consent. Page 8, we have items 26, 27, and 28 on consent. And on page 12, we have item number 35 on consent. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 addendum items.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Council, are there any items that you would like to add or remove? Dr. O'Quinn?
Thank you, President Pro Tem. I would like to add items 36 through 42 of the addendums onto the consent agenda.
Items 36 through 42. Are there any other councilors that would like to add or remove items? And I don't see the speakers list. Is everyone okay? All right, Councilor Smithman?
Yes. Are you going to do it? You can do it, Ms. Clerk.
What would you like?
Amend item, hold on. Item 26.
26.
Yes. And take the funding all coming from my office.
So can we have that again so we just be clear? Councilor Smithman, you said item 6?
Item 26.
26.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want to take those items that are reflective of your office?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Ms. Wilson and McCray? Yes. Okay, that's fine. No objection. We can do that without voting on them separately. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Were there any other councilors that wanted to add or? Let's see. I just read. And just for the record, was item 7, you said, was it part of consent?
Item 7? No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Madam President,
Yes, ma'am.
I had a question about item 24. Can we take it off consent?
Okay.
It's on page 7.
Yes, page 7, item number 24, and we're taking that one off consent. Thank you. All right, let me go ahead and read the statement at this time. All items designated as consent are routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will be permitted unless a council member, the mayor, or citizen interested in a public hearing so requests. If so, such items will revert to its normal place on the agenda order of business. All matters of permanent operation will be read. All other matters will be announced by reading the item number only. All public hearings will be announced. Do I have a motion for adoption of the consent agenda?
So moved.
It was moved by Councilor Hilliard, seconded by Councilor Smitherman, and we're ready for the roll call, the vote.
Give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Pro Tem. I don't have Councilor Hilliard in. Let me put him in right quick. All right. And you said,
That was Hilliard and Smitherman.
thank you. No, it was my fault. Okay, voting should be open.
My pad isn't up. I don't know about
Okay.
the other councilors.
How would you like to vote?
I'd like to vote yes, thank you.
Okay, Councilor Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilor O'Quinn,
Yes.
Councilor Williams,
Aye.
Councilor Abbott. And Council President Parker is absent. All right, that vote should be up for the consent agenda.
All right, thank you. That item's is moved and approved. Can we go ahead now with the first item?
All right, item 1, an ordinance to alter, rearrange, and extend the corporate limits of the city of Birmingham, Alabama pursuant to Act Number 32, Alabama Legislation 1964, first special edition, first special session, so as to embrace and include within the corporate area of the city certain territory described in the petition of Encompass Health Corporation consisting of 126 square acre tract of land located at 8108 Liberty Parkway in unincorporated Jefferson County in the hearing of all interested parties.
Second.
That was moved by Councilor O'Quinn, seconded by Councilor Williams.
Actually, this item is the first reading, right?
Okay.
So we need UC first to entertain it if we're going to pass it today.
Okay, thank you.
So this will be for UC, right?
Second.
No, hold on 1 second, Jim.
Oh,
It's listed as permanent, so it's not. This is set a hearing. Okay, we're fine then. All right, just a regular vote. We should be fine.
So you're gonna pull that vote up for us?
Counselor, I can't remember what was.
Yes, it was Councilor O'Quinn.
O'Quinn, okay.
And seconded by Councilor Williams.
All right, I'll get it before you. 1 second. All right, voting should be open for, well, it's before you, if you have any questions. There any discussion?
Any discussion?
I have one question.
Yes, Mrs. Abbott.
And the owner of the property, I assume, has requested to be incorporated into the city of Birmingham. But can the city incorporate other properties that the property owner does not request us to take in?
And is that a question for the mayor? And his
Well, I
staff?
think it's a question for the administration or maybe the law department, is just to know, because I know we have a lot of pockets of the county within the city of Birmingham. They're entirely surrounded, and they'll be like one little spot. And I just wondered if the city could incorporate those into the city of Birmingham since we surround them.
Ms. Abbott, let me confer with Community Development and Legal Department to get you an answer.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. That was
And that
all.
was just a question. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that was
affect
just
this
a general
particular-
question, but we don't do a lot of annexations or, we don't do a lot of that, and I want to know why not.
Okay. Good question. And we'll wait for, and we'll, looking forward to that answer from administration. Okay. So now we still have the item before us.
Right, and you should also, I guess, check with the public. It is a public hearing item, so if we have any speakers.
Is anyone here to address this item from the public? Seeing anyone from the public? Sir? Would you give us your name, your address?
My name is Robert Penley, and I represent Encompass Health, the petitioner of this annexation. We've gone through the de-annexation effort with the Estavia Hills and got that petition recorded, and so this is now before y'all on the second reading.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the council, now that we've heard from the public as well as the petitioner? Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
Sure, I just want to say that this is a great thing for the city of Birmingham. Encompass Health employs hundreds of people in the city of Birmingham, which obviously goes into our tax coffers. They are very proudly located in District 2, I'm sure intentionally. And I want to thank you guys for being intentional on locating within the city of Birmingham. I know when you guys were moving your headquarters, you had all the entire city, where the entire metro area where you guys could have moved, and y'all were very intentional to make sure that y'all had a parcel that is within the city limits of Birmingham. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Dr. O'Quinn?
So I just want to take a moment to thank the city of Vestavia for de-annexing this property so that the city of Birmingham could annex it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other speakers? All right. Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and call for the vote.
All right, voting should be open. Councilmember Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott.
Yes.
All right. That vote should be up. Madam Chair.
Thank you. That item passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Going to 7, which is on page 3. Item 7, a resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute a bold program agreement with 5 Points West Crossplex Business Alliance Incorporated, under which 5 Points West Crossplex Business Alliance Incorporated, as part of the city's Building Opportunities for Lasting Development program, will provide certain services involving building organizational capacity, joining with Main Street Alabama and other groups to create engagement and investment in the community, and to establish a business office for meetings and training, overseeing business design projects to include 5 mural and 5 facade improvements and improved small business owner signage in the commercial business district. 3, increasing economic vitality by developing a training and resource program that supports educational needs of the business community, as well as talent and recruitment programs for new entrepreneurs and well-established businesses. And 4, collecting data regarding all businesses and commercial properties in the 5 Points West commercial corridor for a term of 1 year and for a fee in the amount of $26,500.
Move the item.
Second.
Thank you. It was moved by Councilor O'Quinn, seconded by Councilor Abbott. Any discussions or questions regarding this item? Having none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote, please.
All right, voting should be open. Councilmember Hoyt.
It's not showing up on mine.
How would you like to vote?
Abstain.
Okay, Councilmember O'Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott.
Aye.
Council Parker's absent. Councilor Hoyt. How would abstain?
Abstain.
My bad. All right, that vote should be up.
Thank you very much. That vote passes with 7 yes and 1 abstention. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Going to item 10. Item 10, page 4. A resolution authorizing the mayor to expend funds for a total of up to 3 representatives from each of the 99 neighborhoods, plus the NUSA board members and candidates for the NUSA board officers, to attend the NUSA conference in Little Rock, Arkansas, May the 20th through the 23rd, 2020, and authorizing the allocation of the use of neighborhood association funds for this purpose. Each neighborhood representative who is selected to attend the NUSA conference shall be free to attend this year's scheduled conference in Little Rock, Arkansas, without obligation of journaling, recording, and or submitting their learning experiences during the 2019 NUSA conference. Motion, please.
All right, do you have a motion for this item?
Move the item.
Okay. It was moved by Councilor O'Quinn, seconded by Councilor Hilliard.
All right, item is before you.
Any questions or discussion about this item? Councilor Williams?
I think there's probably more of a question for the administration, and they might not know it off the top of their head, but what is the total budget for this trip. I did not see it in our supporting documents.
Every year, that's dependable upon neighborhood funds and what they spend per neighborhood. So a neighborhood can, this is usually paid for by neighborhood funds only. So if your neighborhood decides one year to send, but next year not to send, that there's no budget until neighborhoods submit.
So is there a limit on how much each neighborhood can spend per person?
Unfortunately not, because I think the travel agent is used and depends on what city, what hotels, flights, etc. We don't know. There is no necessarily dollar amount every year.
I know that this is going to pass probably with only not my vote. However, I just want to point out that this type of expenditure of taxpayer dollars where people can spend unlimited amounts of money per neighborhood is, I think when we have so many things that the neighborhoods are asking for, specifically street resurfacing, sidewalk construction, things like that our neighborhood want, you know, I don't know if our citizens are going to remember the 3 people from their neighborhood association that went to Arkansas, or if they're going to remember having a sidewalk on their street. I would remember having that sidewalk in front of my house every day. But anyway, I'm ready to vote.
Thank you. I believe Mrs. Abbott had a question as well.
Well, I don't have a question. I actually have a comment. I feel like 3 representatives is too many, and I'll tell you why. The NUSA board, you know, the city of Birmingham has flooded them with people. In some years, we have more than half of the delegates that show up for these conferences, and there is some level of, excuse me, resentment of Birmingham because we do send so many people. So I would like to vote for this, but I want to know how much it's going to cost per person before we vote, rather than waiting until afterwards. Generally speaking, the travel agent for the city determines some costs for us, and I don't know whether we're premature this year and we haven't gotten those costs yet, or whether, I don't know what is going on, but I would feel more comfortable with 2 representatives, but I also would like to know, before taking this vote, what the estimated cost of the trip is. And I realize everybody isn't going to go together at the same time, but we certainly don't want people waiting until the last minute and then the ticket costs $2,000. So I think that, you know, we need to hear from the administration how they're going to handle NUSA.
Just,
Mr. Mayor.
Madam Pro Tem, to Ms. Abbott's point, this is the city council's item. So from a dollar standpoint, it can't move to this item is passed as far as that estimation. What I can give you ahead of time is, would be chartered buses this year, and then rooms cost $160 each, and the conference cost is $225 per person.
All right.
But everything else at this point is left between the council and those neighborhood associations.
Thank you. So that does answer a bit of your information, Mrs. Abbott, correct?
So how much is it going to cost per person? Wild guess.
I couldn't tell you. It's between. I mean, it literally just depends on the neighborhood. Per person, you know, it could be a minimum of $350 to $600. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I would vote for this if it was for 2 people per neighborhood, but I'm not voting for it for 3 people per neighborhood because of the factors that I mentioned earlier. I don't want people to look at Birmingham with negative thoughts. You know, so that's my comment.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Abbott. Mr. Hilliard.
Yes, thank you, and to my respective colleagues. You know, I guess I would be debating something like this if I didn't realize that our neighborhood officers don't get paid, and they work countless hours in our community to really work hard. So I would like for us to vote this up or down, and I'd like to move it Madam President, Madam Pro Tem.
All right, thank you, Mr. Woods.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. I think this is an issue that we can leave to the neighborhoods. I know in my district I think 3 last year didn't send anybody. I think this year one of my neighbors has already voted to send 2. And so I do think that they're aware of, how to manage their budget, and they have made good decisions, I think, overall. But that's speaking for my district, so I'm not sure what other neighborhoods and other districts may do. But I think that, that's a decision they can make. They have a set amount of money in their budget, and, they can decide and vote on how to best spend that. And so I think it's, I think last year was a little bit exacerbated just because of the location being in California, in a city that's hard to get directly to. But I do think this is a decision that they can make at the neighborhood level, and I've seen that play out over the last year. And I think out of my 7 neighborhoods, 8 people might have went to Noosa, so I think we can leave it up to them on this one.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Smitherman.
I just want to echo what Councilor Woods and Councilor Hilliard said. I know my neighborhoods do a very good job in their decision making and having discernment over this. I do agree with Councilor Hilliard. They don't get paid for this. They work hard. Our neighborhoods do a good job of representing the people in their neighborhoods. I think, I don't think they'll abuse it. Also, I just went to Little Rock not too long ago. There's not much you can do there, and they're not going to spend that much money either.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments from each of the counselors and understand just want to be sure that city dollars are well spent. I will say that I did attend the Noosa conference last year. With District 7 leaders, and they were very diligent. I think on the neighborhood level, they really were good stewards of that money as far as determining how many people went from each of their neighborhoods. So I would like to go ahead and call for a vote for this item. Thank you.
Voting should be open for this item. Councilmember O'Quinn, are you down?
Yes.
So how would you like to vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Williams, Abbott, Hoyt is absent. Councilmember Parker is absent. All right, that vote should be up.
Thank you. That item passes. Next item.
We're going to item 24. Item 24, a resolution approving payment to ABC Store, 192, Birmingham, in the amount of $3,500 to purchase select spirits for events for the Boutwell Auditorium in accordance with Section 3-1-7 of the Birmingham City Code. Motion, please.
Move the item. Second.
It's been moved by Councilor O'Quinn, seconded by Councilor Williams. Any discussion on this item? Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Abbott.
Yes, I have never seen us have an item like this on our agenda before. And I was curious to know if the Boutwell Auditorium has like a storage room full of alcohol. Because I've never seen this before on the agenda, I was wondering if when people have events there, I thought previously alcohol was purchased for that event and there was not like a stash at Boutwell. So can someone tell me what we're doing? Are we just changing the way we do business?
What's the actual question, Madam Abbott?
Well, the question is, at the Boutwell Auditorium, do we have a storage room full of alcoholic beverages that we've purchased ahead of time for possible events that might occur?
All right, Mr. Chaz. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
To answer your question, so the Boutwell is the only facility that we have that sells alcohol until we're currently trying to do a concessionary agreement with them so we can get out the business of alcohol sales. But to your question, we do have a storage that's being managed by the finance department that does inventory after every event.
And how long have we been doing this?
4 years.
Really? Because I've never seen it on the agenda before. Did they just pay for all the alcohol out of their budget?
Well, because of 3-1-7, it reached a $10,000 increment, so that means we're having more events at the Bot Wheel. So in the past, it hasn't been as much movement as it is right now. So it's actually a good thing. For
Is
the
it
city.
just, so this is good news? Okay, well, I just hadn't seen it before, and I thought it was an interesting concept. Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
All right, thank you. Any other questions regarding this item? Okay, we'll go ahead and call for the vote.
All right, voting should be open. All right, that vote should be up. It should be up, Madam.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. That item passes. Next item.
All right, we're at item 29, several public hearing items. Item 29 on page 9, a resolution setting a public hearing February the 25th, 2020 to consider the adoption of an ordinance to amend the zoning district map of the city of Birmingham, case number ZAC 2019-12, to change zone district boundaries from CB2 Contingency General Business District, B6 Health and Institutional District, and CO&I Contingency Office and Institutional District to Q D4 Qualified Medium Density District and Q MUD Qualified Mixed Use Downtown in order to allow a new mixed use development for properties generally located around the former Caraway Hospital campus bordered by Caraway Boulevard to the east, 25th Street North to the west, 20th Avenue North to the north, and 13th Avenue North to the south, filed by Brian Wolf, representing the owner, the Love Lady Center Incorporated, situated in the northwest quarter of Section 25, Township 17, Range 3, West Birmingham. Madam President, would you like for me to just go through the rest of them?
Well, at this time, we are receiving information that this item and the Caraway items, there was a message had been sent that asked that we delay these items, and I don't believe that it was referred to your office. Is that correct?
I'm not familiar with that. I know we had different dates and they were withdrawn, the earlier one, but I don't know about the delay.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Madam Pro Tem, in the interest of your meeting, can we lay this on the table and get clarification and come back to you?
Yes, I'll be glad to. I believe I did have a comment from Mr. O'Quinn, Dr. O'Quinn. Were you going to say the same thing?
Yes, I think there were some items that were withdrawn that had the public hearings earlier. So the items that we're looking at today actually are pushing the public hearings into the late February. So they had originally been set for earlier.
Okay. All right, so can we go ahead and just delay these, table these items?
Motion to table item number 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34.
And that's been moved by Councilor Williams, seconded by Councilor Smitherman, that we table those items that have been called. Can we go ahead and have for a vote?
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, so those items are tabled. Call the next item, Mr. Clerk.
Well, actually, we're down to old and new business of speakers. If
Okay.
we're doing that.
If I could have a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilor Hilliard, seconded by Councilor Smitherman. All those in favor of suspending the rules? Say aye.
All opposed?
Sorry, doing your job. All right, so at this time, Mr. Clerk, if you'll call the speakers.
All right, let's see. January the 28th, we had Robert Banks, should be the first speaker.
Hi, Mr. Banks, if you'll give us your name and address, and remember, we have 3 minutes. Thank you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Robert Banks, Wylam, Mr. My neighborhood, I believe that's District 9, Mr. Hilliard, 4600 8th Avenue.
Go ahead. Yes,
All
sir.
right, I don't know where the mayor he went to so fast, but he always creeping out. But look, Mr. Hilliard, District 9, District 7, 6, and 8. It's imperative that Birmingham, Alabama, we have 5 to 7 killings a month. Birmingham police, they are not safe either. So we living in an era once again. I done came down here last year, and we ended the year with 106 or 107. And there go the mayor right there. And for some reason, our numbers are wrong. We still end up with over 100 homicides dealing with gun violence each and every year. So let's have a gun buyback. I continue to say this. District 9, we need one over there bad. Your district, we just seen J.O., we just seen Miles, we seen Green Acres, we seen all these different schools with prominent, good young men. We even seen a young lady that's even in Girl Scouts. But what good is if they lose their life? We won't see them. What good is our district? What good is building up 5 Points West if we can't have nothing in 5 Points West without shootings? What good is it? What good is the cameras? Cameras ain't gonna stop nobody from shooting nobody. You just gonna find out who got shot and who did it. That's all you're gonna find out. You ain't gonna resolve the issue. But we have to take some of these guns off the street. Just recently, a 16-year-old and a 25-year-old shot Birmingham police officer. 16 years old and 25. Y'all don't get it? 16 and 25. They want 40, they want 50, they want 30. 16-year-old bought a gun. He didn't go in the pawn shop and get it. He got it off the street. So if the children got common sense to buy guns, let us have some common sense to buy them back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Banks. Next speaker.
Cedric Hatcher.
Good morning, council, as well as the mayor's office. Good morning, good morning. 2 weeks ago, y'all, I couldn't make it. Had a meeting to go to, the Tuesday after the Dr. King festivities, and I want to just talk about it for a moment. That speaker you had was dynamic, powerful young brother, man, spoke the truth. And what really stood out is when he kind of said something to you all. He turned around and said, you know why voting is down? It's because y'all ain't doing what you tell folks you're going to do. He said that to y'all, and most of you had your head down when he said that. He said, because they don't trust you. That's what he said, to be exact. He said, they don't trust you. And I said, boy, go ahead, powerful guy. He didn't hold nothing back, y'all. He didn't hold nothing back. Dynamic speaker, I loved that part. But I want to talk about Dr. King Brothers, y'all, because I think I got a right to. I walk around with these signs in front of me all year long. Sign out there in that hallway with Dr. King all over it. And every time we march in that parade down there, I say to myself, not being facetious or trying to be bold or cocky or anything, but when most of them marchers gone, bro said still gonna be in the street. When the actors off the stage, bro said still gonna be walking the streets. You know what I mean? And some of them, you know what I mean, you wanna be on the front. I'm in the front. I'm saying, what they gonna be Tuesday, God? What they gonna be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Be going on back home. So I just wanna say a little something about that Brothers, y'all. Y'all, I heard Alabama Power got big holders in that Brothers, the business alliance and all this kind of stuff, all them folk with all the millions of dollars. Why we keep feeding them folks like that every year? A McDonald's breakfast, a little hash brown, a cold egg, cold sausage, same thing every year. We need to be ashamed of ourselves, y'all. Using Dr. King's name in vain, putting his name on the front line. And we take that thing, and now this ticket had $50 on the front of it. I hear one of y'all right now saying, bro, said you ain't paid for no ticket. I ain't never paid for none in 15 years. Folks been blessing me with them all these years. But still, if I paid $1 for it, it's disgusting. You know what I mean? We got to do better than that, y'all. You mean tell me Alabama Power is a multi-billion-dollar business and we can't have no boilers in there with a buffet line with 2-3 different kinds of meat, some grits and all that kind of stuff hot and ready? And we feed these folks this slop. You think if we were having this thing for some other folks, we'll be eating that stuff? No. You think we were having it over the mountain somewhere, we'll be eating cold food? We wouldn't, y'all. We got to do better than that. Now, if we really want to celebrate Dr. King and we for real and our hearts are right, why you say that, bro, Sid? Because somewhere I read, you utter me with your lips, but in your heart, you're far from me. You know what I mean? So we got to stop all this lip service stuff. Because we really honoring Dr. King, around this ain't got nothing to do with you. This was going on way before you ever thought about. If we really honoring Dr. King, y'all, A.G. Gasson building wouldn't be looking like that. No. Carver Theater wouldn't be looking like that if we was honoring Dr. King in Birmingham. Masonic Temple wouldn't be looking like that. 4th Avenue would not be looking the way it looked if we truly was honoring Dr. King in Birmingham. No lights, you can barely see down there, them nasty buildings down there, and we got the nerve to give Brother Guyton of Green Acres a party. You're the #1 businessman, and put some pretty fruit in front of the glass and all that kind of stuff, and these other folk get these big old checks. You can't even use the bathroom in that place. You know what I mean? We should have been supported that brother right there. He's been around all this time. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. People come from all over the country to celebrate Dr. King breakfast, that unity breakfast, and look what we do. We feed them slop. That's what it is. McDonald's stuff look hotter than that, because that's what that stuff is, I believe. Somebody ran to McDonald's and got a free breakfast and gave it to us, and put on a ticket, $50 a piece. And we get up there and sit down, we big time and all that kind of stuff. Y'all, I ain't looked no lot of scriptures up last night, but I got one I'm going to quote. Deuteronomy 6 and verse 12. He said, don't forget now, when you come out, he told the Israelites, when you get delivered, don't forget, it was I that brought you out. Y'all know what the problem with some of us is, some of these politicians, we forgot who brought us where we are.
Thank you, Bruce.
And that's what that speaker said. Don't forget it was I that brought you out. We can't forget, y'all. We come this far by faith. And faith don't lead us on. We got to go back and get our brothers and sisters and help them for real. Because there's another group of folk, they helping each other.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
They helping each other. We got to do better. We got to do better than what we're doing, y'all. At the MLK breakfast. That man Alabama Power got billions and billions and billions. Them business line folk got billions. But I know some of y'all ain't used to that. You're making a little money, 100,000. That ain't no money. I done had $500,000 at one time. Several times. That ain't no money. Because this little politics stuff ain't going to last long. Right. It's just a season you're going through. I'm closing. Yes, After what happened to Kobe Bryant yesterday, don't y'all see that? You can be here today, gone today.
Right. Thank you.
And he had all the millions of dollars.
Thank you.
And by coincidence, he left here.
That's right. Thank you. Next speaker.
Come on,
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kamal Africa. Just want to first of all say that this is a special day for me because at 12:58 p.m. on this day 31 years ago, I delivered a beautiful baby girl. At least my wife gave me the honor to do that with my hands in my house. Her name is Uche. Many of y'all know her. I came here with the passion. I came here with the passion. I actually got out of bed because I've been suffering from gout. I hadn't been out of bed since last Saturday. But thank y'all for standing with me. I have the same passion that Bruce said has. I'm tired of seeing these shootings. Our black race, our neighborhoods, and our children are being cheated out of honor, respect, and dignity by people that we put in office to represent us and govern with balance. Instead, they become corporate prostitutes and traitors in the garrison that would cut funding to our youth jazz ensemble and role model programs. Traitors of their oath that give double talk and point fingers at the executive arm of government, and cowards or incompetent people in the executive arm that won't act unless corporate power elite give them permission. Dangerous, ambitious traitors that have historically sought meritorious manumissions, cabinet appointments, 30 pieces of Judas silver to endorse scum like Three Strikes Dixiecrat Joe Biden, Doug Jones, or Trump over what is best for all citizens, police, and soldiers. If the 15 and 16 and 17-year-old minors, like the ones that participated, or it's alleged that they participated in the murder of the Ramsey student, had musical instruments, microscopes in their hands, or were learning history, karate, coding, or playing chess, Officer Finkley would not be harmed, Officer Carter and Student Stanley might be alive. The city government took funding from our youth jazz ensemble and gave it to corporate welfare, whose foundation, a slavery disclosure ordinance, will show came from black suffering and death before 1819, 1902, and 1936, respectively. This city has not kept its promise to neighborhoods nor preserved black historical treasures like our Dynamite Hill Interpretive Center that will build our youth self-esteem, dignity, and self-respect to where they value human life over others' property. Why did these parents of these minors not know where they were or who they were with and what they were doing at 1:46 a.m. on a Sunday morning? Now, this government won't work or do anything to enforce already existing state laws. That's a darn shame. Dr. King said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the cowardly silence of our friends. Silence is betrayal. I need y'all to do something. Corporate welfare has created this ignorance, wealth gap, and scarcity from greed for a need of people to have attention, only the wrong kind of attention. When are you going to get off of the corporate plantation and do something? Read the book called The Black Tax, The Cost of Being Black in America. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Willie Jenkins.
Hi, Mr. Jenkins.
How you doing? So I'm the mayor of the city council. I'd like to announce that, brother and sister, you are invited to a celebration in the hour of our pastor, Reverend Marvin R. O'Connor, on the happy occasion of his retirement. Pastor Connor have led Oak Street Baptist Church in the past 35 years. And also he be having an anniversary on the second Sunday in March. The program will be held on Sunday, March the 8th at 3 p.m. or 11 p.m. and 3 p.m. And with the church security, please say this date. Teresa Bett. And this is our chairman, co-chairman, Teresa Bett. And I want to give you the mail one. This is for our retired pastor. He just retired from Minnesota. He said not going nowhere, but he retired from Minnesota. And also we are having a banquet coming up on the February 21st at Oak Street at 5 p.m. But I'd like to invite all y'all to come to my pastor retirement. Also, I did go to Joyce Stewart Gospel Invention. She won't saw some of y'all. Joyce Stewart had a nice program. The lady sang the one, when God Did It. Miss Ella 13 Ava. You know, y'all heard of Miss Ella, 13. Used to saying this, God Did It. And you talking about it was some program. George, my first cousin, he always give me a free pass every year. Mm-hmm. And they honored George Stewart, Theo Beatty, and dusted him in the Gospel Convention. Theo Beatty. And it was real nice. A lot of people came. This different saying 3 nights, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Friday night he closed out and dusted all the gospel singing, and dusted gave him a plaque. George Stewart did that. But it was real nice. This is George Stewart, him. Y'all remember George Stewart. And it was real nice. And I would like for y'all to come to my pastor retirement. And you'll really enjoy it. We might have to sing, Mr. Mayor. And so here yours right here, Mr. Mayor. I got your program right there. And like I said, we got a group called the Men of Praise, not the Men of Praise. We do Men of Praise, but I'm talking about Oak Street Male Court. We getting ready and start back kicking in February. This is our male court and choir. I sang in the choir. We sang in the choir in Oak Street Male Court. So I just want to give all y'all invitation to come and enjoy to celebrate my pastor, Reverend Marvin Connor. Like I say, he's been there the past 35 years, Oak Street Baptist Church.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Stephanie Muhammad. I'm sorry. Stephanie Muhammad.
To the mayor and the women and men of the city council, I'd like to say good morning.
Good morning.
And I'd like to say I come in the passion of our brother Sid and brother Kamal. My name is Stephanie Muhammad. I am the owner of Mecca Aqua Massage Spa in Western Hills Mall. You can come and get that massage when you want to feel better, ease your mind. But the reason why I'm here today is because I was coming here originally for that Caraway project I hear that's being proposed. And also this morning I heard about a project with the luxury apartments being built on Grants Mills Road and things of that nature. And I'm coming humbly and with questions. I had submitted to the mayor's office a plan for us so we can have some economic development in the city too, specifically in Birmingham. The frustrations that the blacks have here is because we're not being treated fairly. I don't agree with people giving us stuff. I feel like if we get some, if we have a chance to develop it economically, we can pay for the things that we want to pay and do some of the things we want to do. Also, even get our children into things more of music and arts, which they've taken out of the school, and which they need to send their minds to, so they can be better people and they can be healthy. I figure with this plan here, this plan, my plan is similar to the one that they had out there in Caraway. And I was thinking, why all the time that other folks get to do their plans, what have you, and they give us jobs? I'm not down with that job thing. How come we can't be the ones that like facilitating these things and give our people jobs too? I know other people, and I'm not talking about other folks, that they do for themselves. It's us, we got positions, and we still haven't done it yet. We're in the spirit of Martin Luther King. He gave his life for us to be economically empowered. Also, too, he died on the fact that we can get jobs. Now that we got these jobs, what are we doing with them? We got a chance now to change legislation where it can be more fair to us, because we didn't start on a level playing field. We started behind. That 3/5 of human that they give us in the Constitution, we need 3/5 more in order to get to where we need to get to. And so I'm ignorant. I don't know who does what or what. All I know is I came to the mayor's office, like other folks, be getting different things out of the office. I don't know how that works. But then I haven't been invited to the table to talk about anything, not even to discuss my plan, to even have to do something for us. And I just want to know, what do we do? What's up with that? Excuse me.
Thank you, Ms. Muhammad, for bringing that question. We appreciate you addressing the council, and your questions, of course, are for the mayor, so he may have an opportunity to discuss that with you.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'm going to let that be directed to the mayor's staff.
Yes.
Go ahead. We're going to have to go with our next speaker.
Thank you.
Pat Bill.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I just want to thank you for this opportunity to speak. An advocate for the Max is going to be memorialized today at Lucerne Funeral Home on Go Wild Way. He was working with me on planning a program for a march, like a rally from Kelly Ingram all the way to Max, because Ms. Abbott, you always talk about World Games, and I know that you want our visitors to have first-class transportation, public transportation. But I don't want to have second-class transportation before they get here. So we were planning before Ricky Dorsey passed away to have a march from Kelly Ingram in honor of the forerunners who fought for equality in transportation and everything in Birmingham. They put their lives on the line, and to give me second-class transportation. And then every week, Miss Abbott, you talk about the World Games. Do you think they deserve, our visitors deserve first class and I deserve second class transportation? Because if you do, you're wrong. Not only that, if the visitors are coming and they are getting, they're going to find out that you've been giving us second class transportation. So what we're going to do, although Ricky is gone, we're going to plan our march in honor of those who stood in front of Bull Connor's dogs. And we want to tell them, we thank you for giving your lives for us to have first-class equality in Birmingham. And we're going to see to it that the next generation not come inherit what we are dealing with. I know I talked with you, Mr. Quinn, about the program you put together, a lot of money on the pilot program. And thank you for trying to do that. That's not good enough. And Frank Martin is making, he asked for $23K, he came here to look for an executive. And now all of a sudden he says he's worth this. I don't think he's worth it, because what we're getting in return for his 23K is not good enough. The investigative reporting, I hope they're checking with Port Authority in New York and comparing a Frank Martin's salary with what they are getting there. And they have 24-hour transportation. It's not good enough. Don't embarrass our city with this second class, and please don't think you're going to give them something better than you have given me. There's no way you can do it. They will find out, and it will be an embarrassment. The transportation is they're the first impression of what they see of the city. And if it's second class, it makes you look bad, Miss Abbott, and it certainly makes me feel bad when you've been giving me second class anyway.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Next speaker.
David Russell.
Wow. I didn't know I was giving anybody anything.
First of all, let me say good morning, Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
It's always an honor that I can come before the city of Birmingham. Mr. Mayor, Ms. Madam Chairperson, City Council, I'm sorry. I'm here to speak on three things, where it might be four. The first thing is I would like to speak on is that, you know, we've been having all this road construction, Highway 59 and 20 coming through the city of Birmingham. And to me, I don't know, maybe I'm a little naive about it. I hadn't seen enough initiative in terms of trying to get those federal dollars that those folks use our streets. And when they had to detour around 59 and 20, to get those federal dollars, those state dollars that I think we deserve, because you know, when they travel our street, they tore our streets up. They use our police force. We had to use our police car for gas. We had to use our street and sand to pick up the paper. So now I just believe that there are some federal dollars out there we can get in terms of the billing of Highway 59 and Highway 20. I believe some federal dollars, some state dollars you can look at. The second thing is that I'm real proud of what I've accomplished in the past few years. One of my accomplishments has been elected school board. That was the idea of mine. Also, one of the accomplishments that we had a bill passed that kids must be in school at age 17. That's an accomplishment. But out of all of those things that we have done is, if we cannot get our parents involved with our children, that is one of our biggest problems. You can have the teacher, until we get our parents, our community, and also the system. That is why we have so much crime in the city. You know, kids don't just be born saying I want to shoot a policeman. All those things develop during our development age. And, you know, when I was coming up, it's 12 in our family, and when we had some problem in our house, my daddy said, "Son, skin it down." Skin it down, that means that if you commit something that he didn't approve of, you had to pull off them clothes. He had to get to you. So all of those things that we used to do in terms to make our citizens better, we have left those behind. You know, the law says that you cannot beat a child. It didn't say you could not whoop a child. So until we get our parents involved in our community, and I can see a great number of improvement in our police force. You know, I go out to cross from Parker High School every morning and work out. And when the young ladies, I say young, to my 60, get out the car, they stop and make sure we get in the business and say, police is not the problem. And so, Mr. Mayor, if we can get those tax dollars, we can be able to bring our police into our city and get cars so each police will have their own car so they can patrol our community. Places like Atlanta, places like Memphis, Tennessee. Okay.
Wrap it up.
So again, I really appreciate y'all, and I said I wasn't coming down here today, but it came on my heart that I need to come down here and share that information, especially those federal dollars that I believe we can get in terms of 459 Highway 20.
Right,
Again, thank you so much. You all have a blessed day, and let's pray for our city. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Let's go to. Yeah, I know. we want to bring up the items dealing with the setting of the public hearing.
So moved.
So, I'm sorry, we're picking the items up off the table that we.
Yes, sir. The ones I think it was 4 dealing with setting the public hearing for February 25th.
Yeah, I didn't get the
Okay.
original motion. Can I get the individuals that were, because we tabled them without me getting the main motion, can I get them, who would be passing in second? That's all.
Well, I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right,
Just
and
for
I'll
the record.
second it, yeah.
All right.
And then can we do it all
Council
at
Williams,
once?
yeah, we can
Okay.
do all 4
Put
of
that
them.
back before you.
Okay, all right, your motion, we
Motion
ready
to
to vote?
pass all of those items.
All right, second, that's items 29 through 34. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Councilor Williams and seconded by
Parker.
Parker. All right.
Yes, sir. I vote aye.
Okay. Councilman Woods, thank you. That vote should be up.
Okay, that item, or those items
Those items, I'm
passed.
sorry.
Yes, it's 7-0, and that hearing is set for February 25th.
Okay.
There's some other items on the table.
I think you have a UC that they were.
There's everything. Okay, we have one item we need to bring up dealing with the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament. Councilor Abbott, I think you had some discussion on this yesterday.
Oh, we did.
Yes, ma'am.
It was recommended by the Budget and Finance Committee that we proceed.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ms. Clark, yeah, we're ready.
I need a motion for UC to.
I move approval.
Second.
All in
right.
favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, now the item itself.
Move the item.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Okay, all right, great, that item passes. All right, we're down to Councilor Woods. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Not many announcements. Do have a couple issues. Want to get an update from the administration on a couple of things. One, transportation item, one PEP item, the bidding of the park, Grayson Park. Want to get an update on that. I think that was supposed to bid around October, and I don't think it actually ever got bid, and wanted to get some updated information on where we are with that.
Councilor Woods, I would expect that that item will probably be added to our committee of the whole, probably on Thursday. So so we can have a much broader understanding of what's been going on with it. So, if you would.
All right, so we'll take that up on Thursday.
Okay.
Secondly, is a transportation issue around the speed cushions for Echo Highlands. I believe those were ordered and either was supposed to be here late December, early January. I just wanted to follow up on that and see if anybody has any updated information available.
Yes, sir. I'll get you an update. I'll get you an update. I'm just hearing about it wanting an update for the first time on the day, so I'll get you an update.
Okay. No, I mean, we've, I guess, worked through the proper, appropriate channels, but we can circle back to it. Also, on Saturday, District 1 Strategic Planning Meeting, for anyone that's interested in participating, will be 10 a.m. If you are interested in participating, contact 205-254-2349. We'll get you the details on that. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Councilor Hilliard, District 9 time.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, let me say I want to wish a Tommy Wooden Metlock of England Ridge neighborhood, the Vice President, a happy birthday on tomorrow. The England Ridge is a very active neighborhood association, and they do a wonderful job in the things that they do. Sherman Heights neighborhood meeting will be on Monday, February the 3rd at 5:30 p.m. at the Morning Star Baptist Church. I want to say I had a great visit out to Build Up. I still say Build Up Inslee, even though now they're just called Build Up because they're spreading to other neighborhoods, areas around. But I'm in communication communication with the mayor's office on some things we need to do so we can spread that love in Ensley and in District 9, so we can work on those type of areas. So I know that's in works, and we will have a solution to those issues very soon. I want to say to my office, they did a great job on yesterday in presenting to our monthly meeting for District 9. I really appreciate everything all of them do, which would be my Chief of Staff, Tevin, AJ, David, and Caleb. Work extremely hard, and I want to give a shout out to them. I'm very proud of the work they do. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilor Smithers, I'm sorry.
Thank you, President Parker. For neighborhood meetings next Monday, February 2nd, Powderly will meet at Henry Crompton Recreation Center at 4 p.m. Glen Iris will meet at St. Elias Catholic Church at 6 p.m. Next Tuesday, February 3rd, Oakwood Place will meet at Harrison Park at 4 p.m. and Mason City will meet at Henry Crompton Recreation Center at 4:30 p.m. Announcement, Sit Down with Smitherman will take place on Tuesday, February 18th from 5 p.m. to about 7:30 p.m. at Baptist Medical Center, the old Princeton Hospital, in the main hospital conference room next to the chapel. This morning I received a card from the students from Washington K-8 thanking me for the donations I've sent that will help improve their education and help them accomplish their goal of reaching the top. District 6 office and UAB Corps are partnering together to help the students from Washington K-8 and Hemp Hill Elementary School to help our kids where English is a secondary language, to help them transition better, help improve our kids' reading and math scores, just really investing in our future. For the mayor request, I talked to the mayor this morning about the railroad tracks. I know it's not just a thing in my district, but all throughout the city of Birmingham. We've been dealing with this for a while, but I really will hope we have some type of solution sometime soon. The residents of Woodland Park that live on Spring Haven Circle had major concerns with the railroad tracks behind their homes. The vibrations from the trains cause their homes to shake. Has CSX been made aware of this? Do you know, Chief Sparks?
No, ma'am, but we'll get you a follow-up on that.
All right, thank you. And then there's some trash. So a pile of housing material, trash, and brush was left at these two addresses, 1432 and 1628 Mims Street Southwest. Thank you, President Parker.
Councilor Abbott, it's World Games time.
It is. The World Games are coming to Birmingham in 2021, in case y'all don't know. And my desire for us to be ready has nothing to do with transportation. It has to do with everything. For us to be ready and showing the world a great Birmingham and a great time. So I wanted to ask everyone, and I know you are, keep Detective John Finke and his family in our prayers. And I just, when I heard about that on Sunday morning, I was in the middle of my Sunday school class, and we stopped to pray for him. It just was such a shock. You don't expect to get that news while you're sitting in church, and there he was guarding or providing security for a church, and it just goes to show you have to be vigilant every minute. The next Budget and Finance meeting will be held on Monday, February 10th at 3:30 p.m. in D&E. Submissions are due by February the 5th at noon. We had a lot of items on yesterday's agenda that did not make it on time. So I would like for everyone to work a little harder at being timely so we don't end up with a big long list of addenda. So tonight, the Redmont Park neighborhood meets at 6:30 p.m. And that's at the Botanical Gardens. And next Monday, Glen Iris meets, and next Tuesday, Forest Park South Avondale meets. So we have a lot of neighborhood meetings coming up at the beginning of the month. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, President Parker. Tonight, the Fountain Heights Neighborhood Association meets at the Fountain Heights Rec Center at 6 p.m. The Crestwood North Neighborhood Association will meet at 6:30 at Girls Incorporated. On Thursday, we'll be having a special called Transportation Committee meeting here in the council chambers at 3 p.m. The main purpose of calling that meeting is to consider the micro-mobility ordinance that we've been working on with the city attorney's office. So hopefully we've gotten that in its final version, and we'll be prepared to recommend that to the full council for consideration. On Monday, the College Hills Neighborhood Association meets at 6 p.m. at the JCCEO building on 8th Avenue West. And finally, don't forget that Sunday is Groundhog Day, and that completes my report.
Groundhog Day, that's a
Okay.
very important
President Pro
day.
Tem.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to give a huge thank you to all of the District 7 neighborhood officers that came out last Wednesday and took part in the parliamentary procedure training that we had for our neighborhood leaders. One of the goals there in District 7 is to give them, our presidents and the vice presidents and secretary, the tools to have very effective meetings so that the issues that come before us, we echoed today our thoughts about how we felt confidence in those neighborhood leaders and what they're doing. And so this was just my way again to give them some extra tools where we can be very effective in District 7. So I'd like to thank the Oxmoor Community Center and staff for the preparation and setup. The City of Birmingham, the IMS, they were very helpful to come and assist us at the drop of a hat, so we thank them. Ms. Valeda Gentry and the Community Resource Director, Ms. Alice Williams, and Community Resource Representative, Ms. Jasmine Fales, who also gave very pertinent information to those leaders. And so we do have a brief video where we just like to highlight that meeting. So if we could roll that video, please.
4 times a year, Council President Pro Tem Wardeen Alexander invites officers from the 19 neighborhoods in District 7 for a chat and chew event where they have dialogue about how they can work together to improve their communities. At last week's chat and chew event, Pro Tem Alexander spent some time explaining the process of how her office receives concerns from residents and what it takes to get those issues resolved.
In the District 7 office, we have several means of communicating and receiving communication from our neighborhoods. One is through neighborhood presidents as a result of meeting every month through their neighborhood meetings, or if they have issues, they will contact our office directly. Once we receive that information, then we will send that off to something called the council log. And this is where we will log that information to make the mayor and his staff aware of what that issue or concern is in District 7. Once that item is logged, then that helps to keep it on everyone's radar that this is an issue that needs to be addressed. Or if it's an issue that I feel is really, really important to the district, I will actually go ahead and email the mayor myself and add that information and send that communication to the mayor. And then typically we receive a follow-up. Either the work is done or they work with that department to ensure that that service is performed. We do not supervise any of the departments that work within the city. So it is our responsibility to communicate effectively, to work with the mayor, work with the other councilors to ensure that that information is shared and then action is taken, and then again that is given to the mayor for that action to be taken.
To learn more about how your government works, follow the Birmingham City Council on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thank you, and again, we thank all of the staff and those attendees, and we look forward to our next quarterly Chat and Chew. Just one item last week, I did offer a resolution of sympathy for Mrs. Gwendolyn Bates Calhoun. She was the president of the Hillman Association, so her memorial service is planned for Saturday, February 1st, 2020 at Hopewell Baptist Church at 11 a.m. And I would be remiss if I didn't stop to thank the Public Works Department for the work that we saw last week. We had our pickup there, bulk trash, and so neighbors in Roosevelt City and surrounding neighbors were just very excited to see that. Chief Moore, I know you came out a few weeks, sometime during the latter part of the year, and you rode through Roosevelt City to based on those concerns and things we had sent to the council log regarding the filth and the lack of pickup. And we want to thank you, but I do want to say one of those no dumping signs, somebody came and pulled up the sign and then dumped on it. So we just be mindful that we are just trying to work to keep our neighborhoods clean. So thank you.
Thank you, President Pro Tem, and that sign. Councilor Smitherman, you had one more. You had a video you needed to show.
Yes, that's my apologies. Centoya Brown, like I mentioned, came to Junior League of Birmingham to talk about prison reform and just her experience in the prison and sex trafficking. I don't know, Kim, is the video ready? Is it ready on the back? If y'all could cue it up for me.
God didn't give me this testimony just to sit on it.
Centoya Brown Long was only 16 years old when she was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. But there was so much more to her story.
Centoya, her faith and her journey is so inspiring. I hope other people are inspired by her as well.
She served 15 years before being granted clemency for acting in self-defense by killing a man who had purchased her for sex.
The true face of trafficking and what it looks like, my own experience with it, it's not what you hear in the popular narrative. It looks a lot different, and I think it's important for us to hear that because for most young girls who are affected, it looks a lot like what I went through.
People don't understand that the commercial sex industry is actually a $110 million industry here in Birmingham.
On Wednesday, District 6 Councilor Crystal Smitherman and the Junior League of Birmingham joined forces to bring Centoya Brown Long to Birmingham.
I really think it's just a blessing that this sold out in 24 hours. It really says a lot about Birmingham between the sold out crowd, Girls Inc., and today that people are ready to basically tell human traffickers, no, you're not welcome in our communities. And yes, we're going to stand up for our young people and the future generation of Birmingham.
But I was groomed. And I was groomed not by this man, but by the messages that I received from society, by messages that were passed down from older women about telling me my body is a commodity. So by the time that I met this man who was older than me, I considered him my boyfriend, but he considered me someone that he could exploit.
But the efforts to raise awareness don't stop here. Starting next month, Councilor Smitherman has information sessions planned for her neighborhoods.
I'm working with the legal department as we speak about looking at different ordinances, how we can improve it, help to educate just anybody who can help to prosecute those human traffickers, and also taking what I learned from Centoya and working with her and her team on prison reforms.
It's just about really understanding what made me more vulnerable to be exploited by him so that we could prevent it from happening to other young girls.
For more from the Birmingham City Council, follow along with us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Thank you so much. That was a good video. Just for the people who are able to be there, there actually was a young girl, 15 years old, who was a survivor of sex trafficking, and she was able to tell her story and speak with Centoya Brown. And I think, in our positions, as long as we can touch one person, I think we have made all the world a difference. Thank you, President Parker.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Williams.
Thank you, President Parker. I first want to start off by commending my colleague Crystal. I think that it's very impressive the work that she's done in promoting anti-trafficking through the city of Birmingham. I could not be more happy that to call you a friend and a colleague. I really am impressed by the work that you've done on that front. I also wanted to let residents of District 2 know that we still have recycling bins available for any D2 resident that would like to participate in the city's recycling program. If you either don't have a bin or your bin is worn out, you can call my office and we will personally drive one to your house. Our number is 205-254-2348. Also see Maisha Hutchinson in the audience, and I want to thank her for being here. I've noticed that she's been shopping in District 2 a lot, and so I'm glad that you're spending your tax dollars not only in Birmingham but in my district. So it's good to see you every night at the grocery store, Maisha. Thank you for being here. That's all I have, President.
All right. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything else? Real quick, before you, I'll call on you, Council Williams. 2 events. One announcement from Mr. Jenkins. Reverend Connor is having his his retirement. He's been a pastor at Oak Street Baptist Church in Collegeville. That's on Sunday, March 8th at 3 p.m. So also the Greater New Heights Baptist Church is having their Valentine's Ball at the Bower Auditorium on, I think, February 8th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So make sure if you want to attend both the Valentine's Ball in February and also for Reverend Connors on March 8th. Mr. Jenkins, we'll just keep this announcement, and I'll make sure we make it periodically, if that's okay. Okay, the anniversary is on the second Sunday. Okay. All right, thank you. Also, just wanted to remind everyone that we're going to have a tribute to Kobe Bryant this evening at 6 p.m. at Legion Field. So I want to encourage those that love the game of basketball, but also Mr. Bryant was truly an ambassador for not only the NBA, but for just for the country, and so really for the world. So I know we have a video. Is that the longer version or the short one? That's the long one. Okay. Y'all got a couple of minutes, or you want to adjourn? Okay. All right. We're gonna cue this video up. Council, here, you want to intro it in, and then we'll after this, then we'll entertain a motion from Council Williams.
Well, you know, first of all, let me say we had an icon that walked among us, and I often think about it when I heard it on Sunday. The only thing I could think of is only for a moment, just for a period of time in life, that we occupy this space of what we call life. It's what you do with it that really counts, and that's what Kobe came into place. He did a lot with his 41 years. He was a father first, he was an athlete, and he shared it with the world. The question is, what will you do with your life, and what will they say about you at the end of your life? It is only for a moment, only for a time. It's your time to do with your life as Kobe did with his. Will you please cue up the video? Thank you.
As a young kid growing up watching Kobe Bryant, number 8 play, and then moving to number 24, he's been a sports icon for years. He was exciting to watch with him coming in from high school straight to the NBA, and just over the years watching the great moves and just his competitiveness and his spirit for winning and team relationship. And so he's an icon not only for the city of Los Angeles and the Lakers, but for the country, really for the world. We consider him a sports ambassador, and so he'll be truly missed. And I think everyone across the country, really around the world, are hurting and still in shock. And so just like Birmingham, but all over the country and all over the world, he'll be truly missed. He was a great ambassador for not only the sport of the NBA, but for the country.
I was coming home from church on Sunday when I heard. I was devastated. I thought that we lost a national treasure, and it really made me realize how valuable life really is. I was even more devastated when I heard about the other several people that was killed with him, along with his 13-year-old daughter. You know, I thought to myself that it was heart-wrenching. Of course, your immediate thoughts is to think about your own family, your own life, and your own longevity. But what I've realized is this, is that we're only here for just a moment, just a time. And it's about the people that Kobe Bryant affected and the people that he touched and changed their lives. He did that on a global and a national level. And for 41 years, he made a difference. And as I think back on my own life, that's what I would like to do. Just knowing that I affected and I touched and I made life different.
Kobe had an impact on any basketball fanatic, any sports-related athlete. To me, Kobe was one of those great athletes who was a competitor, who gave it all on and off the floor. One thing I really like about Kobe is his work ethics. Just to see his work ethics and see how he always wanted to be better, wanted to get better every day, even in practice, you know, and in the games. One of my most memorable things about Kobe was in the finals. Every year in the finals, people always know Kobe's going to be Kobe. He's going to do what he does. But Kobe does not mind making the extra pass. He wasn't always the person who made the game-winning shot, but he always made the pass. So he trusted his teammates, and I like that about any athlete. he was one of those players that he didn't have to really do much, but his presence alone just set the tone for his teammates. So you always need a player that has his court presence on your team.
If you connected to basketball at any point, whether coaching, playing, or just love the sport, Kobe's one of those guys that will leave a forever lasting image in your mind. His tireless work ethic, the way he was a fearless and fierce competitor. He always gave up a lot, for the team, and he was just all around good guy, good teammate. From what I understand, from what we watched, he was just a good role model. And, a lot of role models have some shortcomings or whatever, but he was one of those guys that he bounced back from that. Everybody had, little small hiccups in their life, but he showed perseverance, and that's the way he's always been. When you first heard that on yesterday, it rocked you to the core. I mean, it shed tears not only for him, but to lose his daughter. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and that hurt me. So it's a sad time in the basketball world. I'm from the Michael Jordan age, so I was a Jordan fan, and Kobe Bryant was the closest thing to Jordan that these guys would probably understand. And they like this game. They some of them try to emulate him, and it's very difficult to do. But I want them to emulate is more of his work ethic, his passion, his drive, not only just to be the best, but in everything that he did. One of the key quotes that I heard him say in times before is, rest at the end, not in the middle. So these guys have to understand what he's trying to say. Don't stop until the task is complete. He gives inner city kids a sense of hope, a sense of trying, to get out of whatever situation that they're in. The main thing he never once talked about basketball. He's always tried to talk about work ethic and whatever you do, whether it's a janitor or a trash man, a welder, or whatever, a teacher, do your best. When you put your best foot forward, you get 9 times out of 10 you get good results. Things I always tell my guys is you can't get upset with the results you don't get from the work you didn't do. So we just try to make sure that little pieces of things that he does and the things that he says, we try to emulate and pass it on to our guys. I think they look up to that.
This has been absolutely beautiful, you guys. I can't believe it's come to an end. You guys will always be in my heart. And I sincerely appreciate it. No words can describe how I feel about you guys. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. And I love you guys.
I think with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.